Happy Friday, everybody. Let me get a one if you can hear me. I'm so happy to see y'all. I don't know what to do. Boom. Thank you, lovely Lunarian. Divested Peace. Okay, Tayana. All of y'all are in this building. Hey, Mistress Rowe, V in Training, Chic Noir, Divested Noir, Religion Free is up in here. We got Miss Snapple Apple down there and up here. I love seeing the ladies in the building. I really hope that y'all had an awesome Thanksgiving. Yesterday was pretty goddamn funny to me at my in law's house. It was some funny shit went down, but I'll go over that later. Good fucking time, good fucking food, good company. It is what it is. Guess what, y'all? I was thinking about something. Now, when you say that you care about black women, you have to back it up with what you say and what you do as well. A lot of times I see black women, right? And they'll tell you about the dangers of black males and Blackistan and what they do and what's going to happen to you when you're there and if you don't leave, blah, blah, blah. But then when folks get in their feelings, they start trying to play the fair and balanced game. Now, since this is YouTube, right? You can't say a lot of stuff up here. You just can't. You can't even talk about certain wars that's going on. People that make content in the inbox, even your enemies will tell you. Google will tell your ass in a heartbeat, hey, don't talk about that. Stay away from this. Don't talk about that celeb. Don't talk about that group of people, right? They'll tell you in a heartbeat, listen, you're not going to be able to, this is basically going to be shadow banned if you talk that shit. Well, one of those things is HIV. Okay. I'm going to tell you what that is. It's something acquired with your immune system. That's a disease that takes people out if it's not treated. Um, I hope y'all get what I'm saying. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to be calling it that shit. That's going to be HIV. That's going to be some shit that take you out. Dealing with black males in particular, it'll get you fucked up in the game because of the sexual behavior of that particular group of males. It's very degenerate. It's prison based. It's another word that I can't say. It's, nacre on nacre type shit. Sometimes you know they nacre on nacre, and sometimes you don't know they nacre on nacre. And we had a couple people out here trying to make it seem like not all, like all men. That's one of the things, if y'all haven't noticed, gets up under my skin, because what you do, you end up putting black women in a very precarious situation when you pretend as if they face the same dangers outside of the community as they do inside of the community. It's disingenuous. It's fake shit. Sometimes I don't know what brings that about. I don't. Maybe it's beef with another content creator. Maybe it's you got your heart broken by somebody outside of the community. Maybe you was just at the store and you didn't like what some Becky said or whatever. But for whatever reason, they run back to their channels and be disingenuous. I'll just put it like that. It's hard to talk up here, y'all, because YouTube is a fucking trip. And people that don't like you, they're gonna see that you stay on code. So I'm trying to stay on code. Whenever they have these little incidences, online or offline, they'll run to their channel and make it seem as if white males and other males are just as bad, if not worse, as black males. So the takeaway from that is, no matter where you go, men are men, right? Men are men, but some men are worse. And the stats just say that your so-called men are worse. They are. I don't know what else to tell you as far as that goes, but your so-called men, the one that share your phenotype in your communities, they're worse in person, online, and everywhere else. Some people build businesses online. Well, your men, so-called men, I hate calling them that shit. Let's just call them nakers. Nakers build beefs online. They troll online. They're not creating any businesses or that type of stuff. Well, it's the same thing with HIV. White males having it, generally speaking, is not going to affect you as a group of women. It's just not. Because black women don't fuck with white men like that. Let me say that again. Black women generally don't fuck with white men like that. They just don't. They never have. Right? All this new interracial shit that you're seeing, this is new for a lot of people. Okay? I've been doing this shit for 30 years. It is what it is. But seeing it on a regular basis, that shit is brand fucking new. Black women were the most loyal, and still are, if you ask me, the most race loyal group of women I've ever seen in my fucking life. And it's disgusting because they don't get anything from it. So you run to your channel and say, yeah, look at this white dude that gave this black woman HIV. Y'all got to be careful out there because you're making it seem like it's a bunch of white boys running around here just holding a penis in their hand, just squirting HIV all over the place. And that's not what's happening. The opposite is actually true. Well, somebody brought up this case that they found, and make no mistake about it, report on it. Where I find a problem is where you make it seem like that's the norm. I'm going to show you what is actually the norm. I'm so tired of this disingenuous bullshit coming from these big bobble-headed bitches. I don't know what to do. So if you finish off your statement and say, but this isn't the norm, this case is rare, I ain't got no beef with you. I really don't. Because it's true. Those type of cases are rare. Who was the black woman that was taken out since Lauren Smith Fields? We've been talking about her forever. And then on top of that, they don't have any proof that she was taken out. But we're going to use that for sake of argument. They sit around and wait for that pairing to go down because black men are always taking out white women. You ain't got to worry about that shit. You don't have to sit and wait for that case to come on because it comes about regularly because black men are violent. It just is what it is. But to find a black woman being taken off this planet by a white man, that's rare, especially in a romantic sense. It's very rare. Hate me. It's rare. What do you want me to say? It's very fucking rare. But when you pretend like it's equal, you's a lying ass bitch. And I don't think you give a fuck about black women because you're trying to fool them into some shit. I don't. Well, let's see something. We could go head up, mugshot for mugshot, just talking about his if you want to. And who has been the most destructive when it comes to giving it to black women? Children, other men. You don't want to talk about that shit because that shit log is a weapon of destruction, even if it ain't got his, that shit. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Before I get started, I wanted to know if any of you on this panel got anything to say because this getting ready to get real fucking deep and it's gonna get nasty. No?
No, I'm good.
Okay, let's get it. Jesus Christ. Let's take a look at this beast right here. The women that you're subscribed to, did they tell you about this beast right here? And I shit you not. His name is Tyrone. His name is Tyrone. His name is Tyrone Ross. I'm not kidding. Okay? This cocksucker is from Mississippi. He had been spreading that shit all over Mississippi. But nothing happened. He fucked around here and did a robbery. Okay? He did a robbery and he finally got arrested and did some prison time. Well, it wasn't until he gave his bunk mate that shit that you see this mugshot here. Yes, if you're confused, I'll tell you again. He gave women that shit, right? It took him to do a robbery, get arrested, sentenced, and then give his bunk mate that shit before he got this mugshot. Has anybody talked to you in any extensive conversation about Tyrone Ross? Anybody? Because I want y'all tonight to correct me if I'm wrong. These comments are coming up on a 10-second delay. So if you hear me say anything that's incorrect, stop me, because we're going to stop this disingenuous bullshit tonight, pretending like all groups of men are the same, because they're not. They're not. Right? So the women he affected, they didn't get any justice, but his bunk mate from prison did. Let's move past Tyrone. Y'all are familiar with this motherfucker. I saw one other divested content creator talking about him. One. When you sit up here and pretend like white men are the problem, you have a responsibility to go ahead and say what all the problem is, right? Because you put that responsibility on me as well, because motherfuckers always talking about, I don't talk about white men. We talking about them tonight. I seen your mugshot. I see what you got. I need you to reply to this when you get a minute. Once that dry ass turkey is no more, I'll give you a tip. Go ahead and make some turkey salad out of it and come back and say what you got to say on this. This ugly motherfucker, his name is Ernest, okay? His last name is LaCour. He's from Oklahoma. He went on ahead and gave that shit to 3 women just last month. Pull up, because I knew good and goddamn well somebody was going to say that those is old mugshots. Well, the old boy that did his bunk mate, that's 2018. This right here is 2022. Matter of fact, last month. Pull up. I'm waiting. Pull the fuck up. Let's see. Mrs. Rogue says, what the fuck? Look, ain't nobody talking about this shit, but soon as that white boy do something wrong, it's time to pretend like he's the majority, like he's the one that's doing everybody wrong. Fact of the matter is, you stand a greater chance of being put in danger of a myriad of things: violence, murder, HIV, all that shit, when you deal with the naker, especially nakers like Ernest. To be honest with you, I feel like all of them are the same. But hey, you do you. You do you, mammy. Moving right along. This one, Andre Lepart. This motherfucker's from Virginia. I'm doing this way for a reason because I said all, no matter where they are fucked the fuck up. Andre is an associate pastor. Let me shut up for a second. We need a second. Fuck this shit. I said Andre is an associate pastor. Huh? Christian women. Huh? What's up? Like I said, right? All, even pastor, even that anointed man who y'all follow around and pretend like all y'all finna be his wife. All of y'all are sitting in the front row, dressed a certain way so that pastor try to get you, but you don't know he hiving around this bitch. Huh? Well, let me tell you his story real quick. Pastor had a girlfriend and was fucking. You remember that stuff you're not supposed to do until you get married? Pastor is engaging in that fuck shit, right? Raw. Well, Andre's girlfriend got a little bit of that shit log, right? And she had to pee. She had to pee, so she went to the bathroom. Unfortunately, when she took her ass to the bathroom, she got a little bit nosy and was going through his shit. What do you think she found in there? She found Pastor's medication, and that medication was for his. Huh? What? Y'all better come get your people. Aaliyah, you got anything on the Pastor?
Actually, I'm not surprised by anything you're saying. This is the shit I deal with. I work with this shit. And the thing is, it's so the hookup culture that we have, that dating apps like that, the gay apps, the grinders, the jacks, and all of this other stuff. Um, they've made it too easy for them just to meet random people and hook up with these people without knowing them by their real names. So basically, you're just meeting up with people you don't know, you're fucking, and you only have a screen handle. So then when you go and you get this diagnosis, that leaves the investigators to try to figure out who these people are so they can get them in and get them tested. But that's where a lot of this reckless bullshit is coming from. And when you're from states like Georgia, with Atlanta specifically, you know what the lifestyle is like there.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing for these people to just hook up at gas stations randomly. You don't even fucking know each other. But it's just a lot of butt fuckingness going on. Let's just be real. And a lot of women don't know. Because like I said, these men are out here, they're on these apps. And before you know it, this is what you have.
But
And
check
then
it
you
out.
have,
Check it
mhm,
out, Aaliyah. It's the disingenuousness for me because a lot of people that's in this chat right now, this is the first time they ever seen Andre. Andre is affecting the black community. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying to you is
yeah.
you got people talking about folks in other communities like black women fuck with them on a regular basis.
Exactly. And see, and we don't. We don't. And but this is why I'm just telling, how easy it is for them to do it and why so many of them get away with it for so long and why so many of their women at home don't know that they're engaging in this kind of behavior because this is how they're doing it. And but this is
Why
what
is that
affects
her
us
husband? Why
as
is that
black
her
women.
man? Why is that her man though? That's what I'm asking you black women out there in these YouTube streets. Why is this your man, boo? Given the
Don't
black
have no
history,
idea.
how is this still happening? How is Andre able to pull one of y'all to give you anything? I'm sorry for keep interrupting. That's my bad.
Oh no,
Because
it's
that
not a problem at all because you raised some very interesting points. And we kind of touched on it a little bit last show. We know that most black women don't date out. We know that most black women only stick with black men. So if we're gonna have a truthful discussion about his and who's passing it and who it affects the most and why that is, we have to have an honest discussion about it. And that's what people don't want to have, because especially the ones who particularly still fuck with them, because they like to be in denial. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, they will throw other groups of men under the bus, so it just doesn't just seem like it's them, like it's a black man thing. When we know that regardless to what other races you throw in this, we're talking about what affects you as a black woman the most. Don't throw all that other bullshit in here, because that has nothing to do with it whatsoever. Just because you find a one-off case here, a one-off case there, we're not gonna pretend like that shit is the norm when it ain't. But that's part of that disingenuous ass bullshit that I'm used to hearing off here too. So it is what it is.
Check this out, y'all. Y'all gonna love this one. Since we talking about folks that's fucking over black women, we gonna talk about it. This one right here. This one right here. Mr. College Wrestler. His name is Michael Johnson. He's from Missouri. Yo, we can pick one out of every state. That's why I am so surprised that somebody would even pick this topic to try to pretend like like this is other folks doing this to black women. Check this out, y'all. Okay, this motherfucker here is a college wrestler. Okay, he was on a scholarship. He was pretty goddamn good according to the articles I read, and he affectionately went by the name of Tiger Mandingo. I said what I said. You can't make this shit up. Tiger Mandingo. Well, according to the press, he gave several partners. Now, you know, when they use partners, there's men and women in there. Several partners that shit, but was only arrested for giving it to one man in particular because he went on ahead and told. Now, let me ask you something, black women. First of all, why you dealing with these niggas? But second of all, why are y'all so apprehensive to report sexual bullshit and domestic violence with these niggas? Because a lot of times it be some sort of other that's up there like giving reports on this motherfucker, and then y'all step up afterwards. Why is it that you're so apprehensive? You think the police gonna whoop his ass? You still protecting him after he gave you his? Is that what I'm hearing out here? Tiger Mandingo is out here tearing your ass up. And two of them so far on this list only did time because he did it to another nigga. You get where I'm going, Snapper? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. It's the propaganda for me. I definitely saw a few other content creators covering that one story. And like you said, they take that one instance that they might find and then they ignore all these other instances. Everybody knows that everywhere, all over, grapes are spreading this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they just turn a blind eye because they would rather fearmonger, and they're so obsessed with keeping black women in the community and making them afraid to branch out, that when they find something that one white man does bad, they all jump on that story. And I think that the black women are not reporting when Tyrone does it because they're embarrassed. They don't want people knowing their status, and it's just a vicious cycle, and that's how they keep getting away with it. And they do need to start telling.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it's just ridiculous. It's more propaganda. They just want to scare black women into staying in the community. But why? Why would we want to stay in the community when, like, you pulled up all these stories, and I know there's plenty more, and we all know that they're crawling with STDs. They don't even get physicals. They won't even go to the doctor. They don't even have insurance. So come on. Come on.
I'm just saying, since it was such a problem and all, you should have heard about these men by now. You got to see that these people are cherry picking motherfuckers out here to fit their narrative. Okay, we would be done after these particular mugshots if we was going head up. Because and then one of them got to go because one of the certified dudes, what was his name, Mr. Pope, he was brought into the community by Nakers. How about that part, right? Nakers are certifying people to come in and fuck you up on top of everything else and got the nerve to talk shit. This shit is crazy. Shane, you good?
I just want to say that you all have it wrong about Pastor.
I can't do
He, listen, the Holy Ghost and Jesus protects him and anybody who's with him so that HIV, that's really no problem because, you can just pray the HIV away.
Oh yeah, that's right. By his stripes we are healed. Yeah, I got you. I'm sorry, y'all. This shit is stupid. We gotta quit playing games up here. These bitches are trying to lead you down a motherfucking rabbit hole that has no end, right? And catastrophic events. Let's keep going. Now, how is it that we're able to keep going? Are y'all tired yet? No. This motherfucker here is only 22 years old, believe it or not. He look all of 45, but he's 22. His name is Tashomba. I ain't never heard no name like that. Tashomba Harvey. Ladies, he's from Mississippi. Now, you ladies from Mississippi, right? Just not too long ago, we heard that y'all ain't even got no water in Jackson, Mississippi, but you don't have a problem getting shit logged. How are you wiping the bullshit and the residue off when you don't even have any clean water? How are you still throwing it in a circle for these niggas that can't even give you water to bathe in? Ladies, how is this even possible? How is he even locked up because he's doing y'all? This one was all women, right? All black women. What's going on here? Where's the attraction? I'm trying to figure it out. I'm staring at the photo. I know he's having a bad day. It is what it is. But I don't see how he could be. How are y'all attracted to these niggas? I can't do this shit. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. Tachoma, he's locked up for a good little decade because his motherfucking ass was giving everybody the shit, including a minor. Let's keep going. I'm tired, y'all. Point blank, period. This particular archetype of man, I notice he's the type of a lot of black women because when black women are saying who's hot, who's sexy, it's somebody, I guess, that look a little bit like him. That right there, that boy right there, his name is Lamont James. Lamont. Lamont. How black you gonna get? Believe it or not, y'all, he's from Iowa and he's arrested for infecting two women and a minor as well. We need to talk about the fact that y'all don't like to report these motherfuckers that's giving minors these infectious diseases because y'all talked about Jason Pope and good job about talking about Jason Pope. Let's go. Y'all was fake concerned because he was giving black teenagers HIV, right? But the last two people that I just showed, Lamont and Tashomba, he did the same thing. But I hadn't heard anything about that from you. Why haven't I heard anything from you? I miss you, boo. Write to me sometime. No, because you have an agenda. You're trying to make it seem like not all, and I don't know why you would do that to black women. It's not. It's really not fair to black women at this point. Okay, between the programming that they had as children and your funky ass coming up here telling them that they need to stay in the community and all men are bad, bruh, you need to knock that shit off. Welcome to the panel, Ebony Phoenix.
Hello.
Okay,
Hey.
I think her mic might be messing up.
You can't hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hi. Well, the infestors keep multiplying because you guys don't even think about what these dudes are doing behind bars once they get there. A lot of these states are trying to give up their mandatory sentencing, okay? Okay? They may come into the system with, one or two diseases. Yeah, we can deal with that, maybe, I guess. And then they pick up more on the way out.
Well, they grinding each other's booty holes down to a goddamn crisp up in there, and then guess who's there to pick him up once he is released? Yo, black ass. Yo, stupid
Exactly.
mammy black ass. He's sitting on one booty cheek in the front seat of your car because that asshole is very worn the fuck out and he trying not to crush it. But here you go talking about my baby home. What you want? What you want for your welcome home meal? Your hoes is crazy.
And they can't even give them condoms in the jails because that's considered contraband, and they'll be using that shit for everything but protection. But they can't give them condoms in jail cells and prisons because they already know. You know, they know what type of behavior goes on in there, but there's nothing they can do about it.
Mm, And they talking about black men are the most masculine men. And one of these lives, I'm gonna get on you, motherfucking understand, overstand ass bitches, because y'all getting on my nerves with that bullshit. Real talk. You having fun with your costume party and pretending like black men is the original man, but you're gonna fuck around here and we're gonna have a real situation with what's really going on. Because where they at right now, there's no excuse if they was original to be where they are now. I think you saying that shit, bitch, is making it a little bit more embarrassing on them. You don't want to be the original and then sat up there and got your ass whooped and conquered, do you? How the fuck did that happen? I think we're gonna talk about that next go round. I think we're gonna do that. Okay, because I'm sick of hearing it. To be honest with you, let me put my banner up and see what's going on in this back chat. Come on, StreamYards, don't pull this shit tonight.
Okay. Well, let me just say this. December 1st is World AIDS Day, December the 1st, not the 2nd. And I just want to encourage people to go get tested. And if you don't want to go to the health department in your district, and if you're in the ATL, that may be Fulton, DeKalb, Gwinnett, Cobb, or wherever, you can still go to one of your community-based organizations like Positive Impact, Someone Cares, AHF, or NASM if you're in the Rainbow community. Sister Love is another great organization. If you have insurance, you can go to Emory, ID Specialist of Atlanta, or you may have Kaiser Permanente. Either way, go get tested if you can. The Insta Rapid test is only 60 seconds or less. And if you want to do it more privately, they have the Aura Quick Take Home test. So I encourage everybody to do it. At least you'll know. And I know a lot of us think it's just better not to know, but trust them, it's better to know. A lot of people don't want to know, but I would want to know. And I do get tested regularly, whether I'm having sex or not. I still get tested. Period.
Thank you for the info,
Mhm.
Aaliyah. And you know what? Here's the thing: the bitches that's trying to pretend like it's all men, they owed you that information, by the way, because they sending you back into the black community where you in the most danger at. So at least, bitch, y'all could have gave that information as well, how and where to get tested, what the tests are like, and all that type of shit. You owed them that. You actually owed them an apology. Because if somebody sent your ass back into a burning building, you'd want an apology if you escaped that burning building. Like I said, they're waiting. Bubbles, are you dusty?
No, I am not.
Okay, Bubbles, what you got, dear?
I wanted to elaborate on the pasta situation.
Okay, make sure you
Um,
don't say the wrong word. Go ahead and do your thing.
okay. So a lot of times in religion, they it actually resembles a lot like a cult. Like they all follow the same person, the same belief systems, and I think that's why it's just so baffling to people like us. But to them, it's like they've been brainwashed their entire lives, not only by the black men, but also by the black women, because they have nothing else to have. That the best they have is the church. That's the only thing that they really could say that they probably built is the church. And that's it.
I agree with you 99% because I'm going to tell you something about them women in the church. Y'all have y'all ever been to a church? Now she just said that these women are brainwashed and they just basically zombie like. It's funny to me that sometimes that they can snap out of a zombie like state in order to come for you, right? They tend to be disagreeable with stuff that they want to be disagreeable with, but for some reason they don't do that shit with Passa and all the shit that's going on with Passa. But when it comes to talking to young folks, that skirt is above their knee. She breaks that goddamn zombie shit and she gives you the side eye, right? She got something to say about every fucking thing. She done broke the zombie shit to be able to come for somebody. That's why I give them 99% victim, but guess what? That 1% is an evil motherfucker because you're pretending as if nobody can, you're just in this daze by pastor, days by this religion, days by all that shit. But when you got something to say that comes from your so-called original mind, you know how to break that zombie-like state to make other motherfuckers miserable, right? That's what happens. So I get what you're saying, though. They're all on one accord when it comes to certain things, but at the same time, they backstab each other like a motherfucker. It's weird. It's very weird up in them churches.
I won't even give them 99%, DC. I'd give them 50. And the reason I say that is because the religion that they supposedly, built, the churches, they're just mimicking another system.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these, I hate to say it, a lot of these men want to be pastors. I don't care what kind of stature they have in the community. They want to be pastors because it's free money, free poutine, and a lot of respect.
It is.
Okay.
100%.
And basically, nothing will touch you. You can touch every damn body else in that building, in that community, and nobody will say anything. And
Yes.
they will watch you. They will watch you victimize person after person after person. They victimize the women the most. They take your money, they take your dignity. You're a second class citizen in the church, right? All right. Okay. And a lot of these young ladies have been touched. So, no, I won't even give them the 99%. They don't build anything, they're just copying. They're
Mm-hmm.
just copies. They're just copying. And I'm sorry, make no mistake. You let these black dudes who stay at the head of anything, you know it's going to collapse.
Period. Period. It's always happened. Y'all, I can't with this bullshit. Y'all, not only are they doing everything that not Aaliyah, Ebony just mentioned, they're also now giving you the package. And you got bitches around here trying to pretend like it's the white man. Really? I'm over that shit. I really am. You thought I didn't have any more? Really? You thought I didn't have any more? There's an endless list of these motherfuckers that have been arrested, and it's an even more endless list of those that have not been arrested for fucking women that look like you and giving them an extra gift that keeps on giving until the end of time. I don't care how many medications are out here, it's still incurable. Make no mistake about that shit. This piece of shit roach, this clown face, funky, nasty looking demon right here. His name is Nushan Williams. Nushan, y'all. Nushan Williams. He's from New York. Okay. He was already on the ex offender list before he even got started giving you that shit. Huh? Let me say that part again. He was already an OG at assaulting women before he got put on this particular list right here. Okay? This shit eating dude got 13 victims at least. 13 women at least. Now I'm looking at him, and I know attraction is just not all about how somebody looks, it's how they treat you, how they talk to you, blah, 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 blah. Right? Providing courtesy, all that good shit. How was he able to talk 13 women into taking off their shit and giving it up raw? How is this even possible? Let me move my mouse out of the way. I'm taking a look at this motherfucker, and this is how low your self esteem is. Unkempt, weirdo, sunken face motherfucker is giving you a package, right? And these the type of men, y'all, that black women they'll throw these men in your face. At least I got a man. That's how sick they are. You understand me? 13 women. Okay, so the story gets a little bit worse. You didn't think it could get worse? All right, it gets worse. Well, he went to jail for 12 years. His family, hey, his family said at his parole hearing, there's no need for you to keep him anymore. It's not like he killed anybody. Let me go back over here and so I can see what y'all saying in this comment section, because this is some bullshit. Of course, the mammies and his family said to come on, let him up out of here. Him and that shit log, infected shit log, to go ahead and give the community a little bit more of that shit log. Okay? Did he learn anything when he got put on that ex offender list? I don't think so. What he did after he got put on that list was turn 13 black women into victims. Pull up, y'all. How is this possible? How do you keep giving these niggas grace, forgiveness, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh goddamn chances? How does this work? How does this work? Are you that sick? Are y'all that? I'm. Who am I talking to? Aaliyah,
I mean, again, I'm not shocked by any of this shit because, like I said, I see this shit all day, every day. And like I said, these are the type of motherfuckers that see the one of the reasons why these cases are so hard to convict. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but and we talked about this before, is that you have a disclosure issue. And most attorneys will tell you that's why these cases are so difficult to prosecute because if you run into that person and it becomes a he say she say situation and he can say, well, you knew I had it and you had sex with me anyway, and this woman say, no, well, no, I didn't know you had it because you did not tell me. So now they're going back and forth. You knew, no, I didn't know. And so that's the issue that they have, and most attorneys will tell you that is full disclosure. Did this person know? And because you actually have people that do bug chasing for real, they call them bug chasers, where they will actually fuck around. It's some kind of sick fetish where they will fuck around with people knowing they have certain diseases and stuff like that. They actually like it and get off on shit like that. It
mm-mm.
makes it even more difficult to fuck around with cases like this because that's why I said so much back and forth, and it's just so much that you have to go through legally to even get these cases prosecuted. And it's just with the whole social media aspect of it, like I said, with all these apps and the hookup culture and all the fucking that we have going on indiscriminately anyway, where you just fuck people you really don't know, then hey, all that is a recipe for the bullshit that you have now.
I'm sorry, Aaliyah, but there's a way to prevent all of this. You test. You
Of
get
course.
tested before you raw with anybody. Okay, I would rather you just not do that. Put on something. I don't care if you're going to put on something. Get tested. Then you will know what he has or what she has. I don't
Yes.
understand.
Ebony, to
I-
keep it real, Ebony, when you ask black males to test, when black women, me as a nurse, when you ask them to test, you're being prejudiced to them.
Okay, that's why I've
In the
never dated one. I'm done. Sorry.
exactly,
And see, most of
exactly.
them, even when you try to suggest getting tested, they get extremely defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Period.
then that
And
should
it's
tell you
like,
something. I,
exactly. That's why I was going with it. And see, most men even know, okay, you know who I am, you know what I do for a living, right? So if you're fucking with me, going to the doctor is not gonna be optional if we talking about doing anything, right? That goes without saying. And if they buck up at that, you already know I can't trust you. What the fuck you got going on that you don't want
exactly.
me to know about?
Exactly. Exactly. I agree wholeheartedly. But still, I don't think I've ever been so funky hot for anybody that I'm not thinking about a bug and I'm not thinking about myself.
It's the scarcity though. If she's requiring too much of him, he can just move on and make no mistake about it. He can replace that mammy with another mammy. I don't know why these women fuck with black men. I don't. They have too many options in the black community that it's like you can't put a standard because if you make it any harder than the next woman in that community, your ass gonna get dumped and they know it. And they still go for the shit. They don't leave the community and like, fuck this, I'm worth more. I have standards and I want them honored. No, what they're gonna try to do is become easier and easier and easier so that they can be easier than the next bitch so that she can win, quote unquote, the prize. It's sick. It's sick. And then you end up with this package and want to come, then you got to leave the community, right? Because you need to get health services and referrals and that type of shit. You got to see the doctor, the pharmacist, and all these fucking people. Now you left the community because you got pushed out of there because you needed some help. It is so sick. All of this so that somebody can fake call you relationship goals and black love. You bitches are crazy as hell. You crazy as hell.
So black
Huh?
love is an infectious disease?
That's hey. If you put that together off of what I just said, let's do it. I'm here for it because that's what it seems
Well,
like
I'm
to
gonna put
me.
it together then. So black love is an STI and no money. Black love is getting your head beat every occasionally if he gets pissed off about anything. Black love. Wait a minute. Black love is making babies and leaving them. Okay, that's
Look,
black love.
pretty much.
I would like to interject. Another thing I would say is just imagine if these men, well, these people, imagine if they were singers and rappers And all these types of entertainers, all this stuff will probably be wrapped under the rug. All of this stuff will probably wouldn't even know that they were doing it. They were entertainers, because that's just how sheltered they get when they have some type of connection to black women.
Look, y'all. They're a protected class. Soul Girl just did a super chat, and because they're so protected, I can't even read that out loud. Do you hear what I'm saying? Y'all better be careful around these niggas. There's certain verbiage in her super chat that I can't say about y'all's men because it's a no-no. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So you'll never get the full tea about these niggas. Not on this platform, you won't. You think you get an earful now? Get up off this platform and see what's up. Darling, I appreciate you, Soul Girl. I'm leaving it up there for a second so people can read it. But I can't say it. And that's unfortunate. People need to know that stuff like that happens all the time. Hello. Stuff like this, not just in your viral TikTok video or your viral Instagram video, and oh shit, look at what happened over there. That shit happens all the time. I told you last time I was here that black men are the most effeminate men on the planet. They're the most feminine, period. So finding them in that type of relationship is not uncommon. I'm sorry that your cousin suffered that. I really am, Soul Girl. Seriously. Mm, wow.
But black women have been the face of the three letters for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They just haven't figured that out. I've pulled some public health articles that, oh God, I see why they make me pay for them, because they couldn't just let anybody in the public pull these, and it's got some really hot tea in it.
See, some people, Ebony, they'll say what you just said, right? But won't say who's actually giving it to them. That's the part. That's when you become target number one of these niggas in that community.
Excuse me? Oh, it's no. The titles are. The titles go like this: Black women have da 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 because of the sexual proclivities of the da 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 men in the da 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 community. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just a lot that people have to think about, and as far as this is concerned, because I mean, it's not just one way to look at this, because like with my research and my background, I did a lot of research on HIV associated neurocognitive disorder, and that can also
The
lead
HIV,
to,
the HIV.
yeah, the HIV associated neurocognitive disorder. And that can also, because I said that crosses, people don't understand. Yes, it can cross the blood brain barrier. Yes, it does infect glial cells and start to release neurotoxins. And yes, those cells do degenerate over time, and they do not regenerate. And that causes severe psychological abnormalities, mood disorders, mood changes, mood swings, things like that. So, and it also leads to HIV associated dementia, all of these things. And they like to argue that HIV associated dementia can be kind of rare, but I'm like, how is that? Because your blood goes everywhere, all over your body. So once the blood is infected, everything is fair game at that point.
And
So
don't
when you,
don't forget the
mhm,
Aaliyah, the earlier medications, if
mhm,
medications would cause neurocognitive decline.
mhm. Yeah, you talking about the original cocktails they
The
came
earlier
up with?
medications, yeah,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
so we have a lot of people who are on that stuff early, okay, and of course they changed medications over the years, but neurocognitive decline was also associated with those medications.
Look at all the shit y'all willing to go through in order to be with a nigga. You literally are losing your mind, y'all. Oh, let me ask you this. Did you think I was done? Because this list is long as fuck. And
Please
that's
be done.
bitches ain't telling you that shit. They trying to make it seem like bread over there, skeeting all over the place, making bastard babies and giving you the HIV. The fact of the matter is, it's the bitches it's the men that come out of their community. It just is what it is, right? And that is not the same as coddling white men. It's not. Reciting stats, that's not what's happening, boo. Okay.
Ew.
Yes, yes, Snapple. Yes, that
I
Nigga's
remember
name is
him.
you do. Hey, we didn't see a lot of this man being talked about either, huh? No, you dug through the trash to look for a story, right? That would just suit your narrative for coddling black males. I see you. I see y'all. I see you. That's why the shit is funny as fuck to me. You took your clothes off and jumped in the bottom of the fucking dumpster to find that fucking story just so you could, oh my God, look, y'all, I know I got shit and throw up and all kind of shit on my arm, old food and everything, but look at what I found. Wow. All in, make no mistake about it, y'all, that's protecting black men, by the way. That's their version of protecting the image of black males. Okay? That's Rudolph Jericho Smith. Maryland in the house, right? He infected at least 3 women. Okay, now let me tell you something. A lot of these cases, the women are dating them at the same time. Let me make sure I'm putting that right. He's dating multiple women at the same time. I'm sure that's not a surprise to you, but when they chart out the dates, a lot of these women overlap. I told you there's a 2 pussy minimum when dealing with nakers. Even if they're successful, it's going to be there regardless. Whether he's sleeping on the couch or he's owner of a Fortune 500 company, God forbid. There's a 2 pussy minimum dealing with them. Okay, these dates overlap. How are y'all not using condoms if you are defiant enough to stay in that community and fuck? Right? Can you at least cover that shit up? Because it takes care of 2 problems. Number one, it takes care of your star crunch. That's number one. And number two, it lessens the chances of us having you get pregnant with one of these niggas again. Right? The same if his mama was on birth control, this would have never happened. He wouldn't have been in existence. Snapple, you got this?
Yeah, again, it's just the audacity for me, and it's very treacherous. It was mostly black women content creators that I saw pushing out that story, and they were basically I interpreted it as them trying to keep black women in the community and keep them like I guess it is like yeah, it is coddling them because it's trying to like keep any black woman that might have been on the fence like, oh no, don't go over there because look what happened. And it's like, excuse me, even without these stories, we all know that the community is riddled with STDs and incurable STDs. Then now you have proof. You telling me you were able to pull up all these stories and none of these same people posted one. It's so insidious, and that's
That
the
says
lengths
to
that they
me,
go
yeah,
through.
Snap Apple, that says to me agenda. If you know that all these other stories exist and you focusing on the ones that's keeping on the electricity, bitch, you got an agenda. You got an
Yeah, and they
agenda.
don't
And
care.
my
That
thing
means they
is,
don't care.
I
Sorry.
saw all of these people warning people about dating wiggers and stuff like that, and they already know how we feel about that. We've
Mm-hmm.
already made that we've already talked about the white powder donuts over here. No need to go back into that. But my thing is this: I find it very odd that women who don't date white men are telling you what white men to avoid. It's like you don't date white men. See, they sure do seem to be giving a lot of advice about men they know absolutely nothing about, so they say. They can tell you what type of white men that to go after, what a relationship with a white man is supposed to look like, and everything else. And my thing is, I'm trying to figure out if you don't date out, what business is it of yours? But then you have other people sitting up trying to tell you, well, even if you don't date out, just use them against black men. Just throw them up in black men's face. And see, this is where we kind of have to step in and say, hold up now, hold the fuck on now. Ain't nobody over here condoning the shit y'all putting out there, trying to tell black women to use white men to their advantage just because you want to get under a nigga skin. Fuck that bullshit. Cause you're fucking the game up for women who really do fuck with these men. And see, that got to step in and say something. Because the bullshit you putting out there, no ma'am. Don't do that. Cause you got women who genuinely fuck with these men over here. And it don't got shit to do with a black man whatsoever.
Facts.
Not only that, there are black men who are trying to tell black women what white men like, as if they knew.
Child, please learn how to do what he do first, pussy. How about that part? Go build something, protect your women and children, Look, I'm still not going, but there's women out here that will take you, and it's unfortunate that they still have stooped that low. When you tell them how they are, why don't you repeat the performance that they did? Okay, we only hear you because that white man's microphone around your goddamn dick licker. That's why we hear you. Okay, don't nobody want to hear what they got to say concerning what somebody needs to do. You do it, pussy. Huh? I can't stand they asses. I really can't. Look, we can do this all day. This is why this shit is disingenuous. Now, with the ladies in the audience and the ladies in the clouds and the ladies on the panel, if they were still out here single ready to mingle, who do you think they have a greater chance of getting fucked up by? Old boy they over there talking about, or this group of men right here? I think it's safe to say, being the dating history of black women, it's these niggas they need to be worried about. Point blank, period. And the white powder donut dusties that black men are letting through the door. Because they're supposed to be the guardians of your community, right? They the leaders and all that shit you fucking yoni egg bitches since they the leaders, right? Any white boy in your community fucking it up, the niggas let them in. You gonna address that or no? I can't with this bullshit, y'all. I can't.
What
I
the
can't.
hell did he do?
Oh, this one right here. I forgot to even tell you this nigga name. They all starting to run together. His name is Isaiah Bedford. Indiana in the house. Indiana in the house. Y'all see this mugshot. Y'all see his face. Y'all know he's not attractive. He looks like he smelled like a garage door full of grandpas. I'm just going to keep it real with you, right? He exposed 11 women to his disgusting shit log. How are y'all getting on y'all knees and getting with niggas like this right here and sucking their dick down to the base? How does that work? How does that work? You have literally got to be out of your mind. What? And you say you don't date white men. You say you don't date Hispanic men and blah, 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 blah. Girl, you don't got no standards. When I see who you dating, don't tell me about who you don't date, because I see who you do date and the shit looks terrible.
I'm sorry. You might as well call these dudes serial killers at this point.
Absolutely.
It's one thing to contract, but it's another thing to contract, not reveal, and not treat. And a lot of that is going on.
Of course it is. And then a lot of times they just move from one area to the next and they think they can't be found out. But newsflash, you can. HIV is a reportable disease, notifiable by it doesn't matter which state you live in. As a matter of fact, take Georgia for example. If you have a positive result at any point in time, the state of Georgia has a whole surveillance system for that. And if you contracted it from another state and you ran your ass to Georgia, yes, we can also contact that other state to confirm your original diagnosis date and every damn thing else. These systems are set in place for a reason. So you're not really getting away with anything like you think you are. Even if because you see that a lot too. They'll get it and then they jump up and move around to different places and stuff like that to make sure they spread it to as many people as possible. But you will eventually be caught. And I'm telling you how.
Cheshire Cat, I think you've been up here before, but I still gotta ask, are you Dusty?
No, I'm not Dusty. Can you hear me, DZ?
Yep, hold on 1 second. And let me see. Benevolence is due. Are you Dusty?
Yeah, I'm Dusty.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
god damn.
Oh Lord. Cheshire
Him
Cat,
in the house.
how Cheshire Cat, how you doing, ma'am?
Ma'am, I will be polite and I will just take my seat to the side and let you deal with the other person that you brought up here
Oh,
first.
listen, here's the deal. See, I'm not like these other women out here that play games with niggas. He's already gone, boo.
Okay.
He's already gone. See, when I say I don't have time for niggas, that's exactly what the fuck I mean. A lot of these
Oh.
women out here just want to argue with them because they want one. I don't want one.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All
I
right.
asked, was he dusty? He said he was dusty, and we moved right along.
All
That's
right
what's up.
then. All right. I thought it was smoke night. My mistake.
Look, this is y'all show. If y'all want smoke night, you got it. It's up to y'all.
Gotcha. Okay, DZ, I just had a quick question for you. Do you think that, since we're talking about DL brothers, do you think that they represent members of the protected class because they technically are members of the alphabet community, and that's why a lot of their behavior goes so unchecked.
You talking about Nakers in general?
Well, DL Brothers really only is one demographic. When you say
Well,
DL
well,
Brother,
well. You can't say DL up here,
oh,
ma'am.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not know that. I'm sorry. Um,
Yeah, they don't like that type of shit in YouTube, and yes, they are a protected class.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Hmm.
Um, because I mean, I don't know how many more red flags or cautionary tales these women that deal with a lot of these men that they a lot of these women they unfortunately do receive red flags, but they ignore them because of I guess because of companionship and low self-esteem. But I didn't need all these cautionary tales. I attended a funeral when I was 11 years old of a church going black woman who was cheated on by her philandering husband, and she was dead within a year of her diagnosis, and he survived her for 20 more years living on one of those colonies for men
They
who
have
got
a
the
lot of
package.
things. They have a lot of things for men, in particular black men. And someone in the
Mhm.
comments is asking who those brothers are. Those are men that have significant others that are women, and they're doing some things behind that woman's back that she's unaware of, and it's very think of two bats slapping together. This shit is tough up here talking about these niggas.
Mhm.
It is because
Mhm.
when I tell you they protected, they're protected. So you have to watch the way you talk about them.
DZ,
Yes.
I think I have a sort of an answer for the young lady who's talking now.
Mhm.
You,
Okay.
she, n- correct me if I'm wrong. You're asking, are they a protected class because they're associated with alphabet soup or because they're black? It's both.
Okay.
Okay. Alphabet soup, they get some protection from. Okay. Because
Mhm.
there are resources in that community. All right. Um, but also with the racist and the white supremacy narrative
Mhm.
and the white guilt narrative in the media and all that stuff, they get protection from that also. So it's a two-pronged um, uh, sequence to protect these guys' egos,
Yeah.
okay, their lifestyles, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Can
And
I interject too?
Hmm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I think the brothers comment was I'm gonna represent the comment section for a minute. They not our brothers, they not my brothers, we don't claim them, so that's what people was a little baffled about. And I
Okay.
don't even think it's even worth drawing a distinction, hashtag all, they all a protected class. And it's just very much unfortunate that mammies have built them up to be so protected. But I mean, I don't really even see the point in making like such a distinction because they're all into alphabet soup, I
Every
think.
last one of them.
Thank you.
All it takes is just the right situation, their
Exactly.
privacy, their intoxication level. I'm of the opinion that you can get one of them to go down, right, and get it to their tonsils if the situation is right. Okay, and some of them they just do it because they want to, and they don't give a fuck what you think about it. It is what it is. Um,
But DZ, look at this. We have a community where the women and the children who are the most vulnerable, okay, it's easier for a woman to contract HIV.
you
Correct me if I'm right
look
or
there,
wrong.
you can't say that up here
Oh,
either.
okay, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Anyway, so the women and the children
Protected like a
are,
motherfucker.
are vulnerable in this
Mhm.
community, but the only people who are getting any type of protection of their image, of their health, and oh, police, don't handcuff them too hard, are the men.
Yeah. You can see this bitch bleeding all the way down her face. Her nose and eyes are swollen shut. But if you put that handcuff on that nigga that just did that to her too hard, she gonna talk about how rough you're being with him. That's why I say these bitches are dangerous. They're dizzy as fuck. They're scary. They literally scare me. That's why I don't fuck with mammies on no level. I don't care if she's a swirler. If she still got it in her heart that black men need to be protected, I can't fuck with her because the bitch, she's not thinking correctly. There's enough protections for them. There ain't none for you though, bitch. Every 4.5 hours, you getting the fuck up out of here. And you don't give a fuck about that. Then you got the nerve to cut your microphone on and send these black women back their way to get whatever they got coming from that community. You are a low down, disgusting bitch. Hmm.
And that's exactly
Yeah.
what they did covering that story. That's just it, they threw black women under the bus again by being like, don't go over there because you see that might happen. You better stay over here, even though it's a cesspool.
And
Mm.
that's one of the most insidious things about it. I think what's more insidious of it, more than the low self-esteem, is the peer pressure. I didn't think about it as an 11-year-old girl, but as a grown woman now, looking back in hindsight, I wonder how many people in that church community told that woman to stick with that man that essentially gave her a headstone. How many people told her to like trust in God and do this and try to stay with him? And she had all of her kids with him too. It was like the most dysfunctional funeral I had ever been to in my life, because this mofo was sitting up in front of the church, and his youngest son had to be escorted out of the funeral to keep from wrapping his heads around his neck because he knew what he did to his mother. I had never seen anything like that before in my entire life, and I was just like, I had never seen nothing like that. But looking back in hindsight, I'm like, is this normal? Is this kind of treatment and just discarding of and exploitation of black women normal? Like, look at Andrew Gillum. I wonder how many wives or how many people told Andrew Gillum's wife to deal with him after he was humiliated all over national television and like during an election.
Mammies know this shit is not correct. That's why they say complaining all the time.
Hmm.
Happy women generally don't complain unless they're at work trying to rescue others or that type of shit. But mammies claim that these niggas is worth a damn, but they're always lamenting about them, something that they did. And I'm telling you, just get the fuck away from them. Y'all check
Hmm.
this out. Check this out. Now, this is for you diaspora motherfucking mammies. We doing worldwide. We're doing worldwide, right? This motherfucker's name is Japeth, right? His last name is Osei. He lives in Berkshire, England. You think he's any different than the rest of these niggas we talked about? Do you? Because if you do, shame on you as well. Okay? This motherfucker, Japeth, he has two victims. And let me tell you about his two victims. The first one is your classic mammy. She didn't give a fuck. She met him and fucked him. Point blank the fuck, period. He already knew he was giving out the package. He did it anyway. So this is ended up on his record as to why he was taking his ass to jail, because he's in jail. Make no mistake about it. But the second one, he told her, can we wear a condom? He didn't say why. He didn't say why. He said, I think we should wear a condom. All right. She was like, okay, let's go ahead and wear a condom. Then he said, nah, let's not do it. I'm going to take the condom off. She was like, no, put it back on. You had a great idea to begin with. Just put the condom back on and we can get this done. No, baby. That's not how this goes. We need to feel each other's energy, is what he said to her. You can't make this shit up. Right.
Mm.
So she said, okay. Both of them are positive now, right? Both of these women, and he was sentenced. And you know how lax England is on crime. They don't give you no time over there. His ass only got 5 years for that bullshit. But my point is this: you still dealing with black men, and you claim that you're doing better because you got them from somewhere else outside of America. Bitch, you are drunk. They're the same. Looking at him, had I not told you that he was from England, you'd have thought he was from up the street. Because they're the same motherfucker, right? Fuck the Afro-Cuban and all that bullshit. Baby, that's an acre. Stay away. Period.
I
But
just want to say to all you black women out there, I don't, or girls, just you have to understand there are probably 3 or 4 black women and girls who were born the same day, the same year you were, and they are not here because of what's on the screen. Think about that one.
Yeah.
Okay, and also too, what I keep hearing a lot of people putting out there now is about the meds and stuff, the antiretrovirals that we have now to put people in undetectable status. Yeah, but at the same time, what people have to understand is it's still rules, ladies and gentlemen, that goes with this stuff. Just because you reach undetectable status does not mean that you ride off into the sunset because you're completely cured. No, you still have to go to the doctor and get routine lab work done on a consistent basis. Because guess what? At any point in time, your strand of hair could have stopped responding to those meds. And if you're not getting routine blood
Preach,
work done, you don't even
preach.
know that you have that your health has stopped responding to those meds, and the virus has started back replicating in your blood. A lot of people do not keep up with that blood work, and that's what gets them every single time. And their virus has started right back replicating, and their viral load has gone right back up, and they're back spreading it. And well, I thought I was undetectable. Well, how would you know? Did you check on your CD4? Did you go check on any of that? Your viral
Mhm.
load? No. But see, that's why I say we need to stop. Everybody wants to be a health educator, but you don't have the range for it. And then you want to argue with people who do have the range, are telling you, no, that's not the end of it. You don't just say, oh, I'm undetectable and I'm just riding off into the sunset. No, you still have to be very diligent in your health. And on top of that, to make sure, even if you're on Cabenuva, yes, even if you're on Cabenuva. So you have to stay on top of that shit.
Thank you so much, Leah. I was just thinking last night that a lot of these meds are now being marketed as being helping you get undetectable faster. And I'm really concerned because so many people slack on their health in this that they like put it on
Is she breaking up?
and
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is.
Yes.
You breaking up, Cheshire Cat.
oh I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Can I
Go out and come back in.
can I jump in while she comes back?
Yes.
I just wanted to it what Aaliyah is saying is kind of resonating because we've been having some conversations in the Discord lately, and we were talking about like the culture of how sex work is just kind of promoted and pushed by artists and entertainers, and it's just this hypersexualized sexualization going on. And
Hmm.
I think it's really dangerous and it's not right, especially to push it on Black women because of the risks that are already out there as far as physical safety. And then on top of that, of course, you have this stuff that can go on. So I think it's just like the education that Aaliyah is giving is wonderful. And I really hope like anybody listening that's involved in that kind of work or thinking about it thinks twice because it's not worth it. It's not worth putting your health at risk like that. You have
And
to
that's
stay
another
safe.
reason why a lot of sex workers don't mess with them.
Okay.
There you go.
It has to make sense, y'all. These sex workers ain't fucking with these niggas for a reason. A lot of people aren't fucking with niggas for a reason. You're the last one standing, and these dizzy ass Beckys that sit up here and just they can't help but engage in competition with you, and they getting fucked up too. By the way, just keep your eye on the news. They're getting fucked up just like you are by these motherfucking niggas. At the end of the day, you're the last one standing. You're the last one that's sitting up here making excuses for his ass, and you look just as stupid as him. I'm speaking from the outside looking in. You look crazy. You look crazy as fuck doing that type of shit, y'all. I don't even know what to say at this point. Let me check the back room. Open mic. Are you Dusty?
No, I've been up here a few times now.
Okay, what you got, dear?
I used to think that this was cognitive dissonance, but it seems to me that every time they bring up a story of a white man doing these horrible things, they're redirecting their anger on the terrorism that they face on a daily basis. Because just as Aaliyah was saying, this is another epidemic in itself, and it has been on the rise, especially since the panini that's been going on. And I think since the black males in the community are essentially on a godlike status, they can't say anything to them. They can't accuse them of anything. They can't point out what they're doing. So I think when black women are want to vocalize the terror, they point out to horror stories of white men doing it to address what black men are doing.
At the end of the day, when you do that, when you're not talking about what's the greatest risk, you don't give a fuck about black women. You don't
Mhm.
give a fuck about black women. It's like this: if you got a 12-foot pool and a 2-foot pool, right? You can drown in both of them, absolutely. But if some black woman doesn't know how to swim, you might want to go ahead and send her to the more shallow pool. Do you get what I'm saying to you? She's gonna go in one of these pools regardless, and she's looking to you for answers, and you sitting up there telling her some shit that is going to hinder her progress. Messing around with niggas is going to hinder your progress because they don't like you. At the end of the day, they don't like you. So they're not going to be looking out for your goddamn protection.
But I
They're
think
not.
that's exactly what it is that they don't like black women. And I think other black women throw black women to the altar of worship of
They
black
do.
males because they feel like it gives them a chance. Just like when they were talking about the preacher, a lot of black women will know when there's a predator among them, and they'll literally offer up other women, daughters, whoever, just to get favor with that black male. They do it on purpose.
Subscribers too. How about that
Hmm.
part? Uh-huh.
And that's
Hmm.
another thing. I noticed that I don't know when. Well, maybe it's always been this way, but the African American community and its pedestals are just junk and trash.
There's no
Meaning that they
pedestal for black women there.
celebrity worship, and you guys don't realize what these celebrities have had to do to become celebrities. You understand me? Okay, listen to me very carefully. They've done some shady stuff to get where they are. Do you understand me now?
Fuck the black
Okay,
community. They're black celebs and all of them. Fuck each and every one of them. You
thank
still
you.
with that bullshit? I can't get with you. I can't. It's a new day around here. I don't have any obligatory sympathy for anybody that's still fucking around in that nasty ass cesspool called Blackistan. You keep fucking with fire, you will eventually get burned. I don't give a fuck if you are a critically acclaimed chef. They still get burned. Period. If you're not taking the proper precautions, you could cut your finger when you're cooking. It is what it is. You better leave them people alone before you find out the hard way. And then when somebody don't want to treat you like a victim after you knew not to go over there, now all of a sudden they the bad guys or the bad chicks. Oh, oh, you thought, oh, you ladies thought that there were no more? Is that what you thought? The list is endless round this motherfucker.
We
This is
gonna
why
be.
I took issue, right, with somebody calling you to the come here, y'all. Come here, come here, come here. Look at this white man. Look at what he did, y'all. Look at what he do, and and nobody's saying anything about it. Well, we saying something about it tonight. Who's doing it the most? That's the question that y'all keep avoiding. I'm talking about not just a little bit more, a lot more. There's tons of these. You can go get these stories yourself. Just type in arrested for spreading, and then click images. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And the ratio between black men and white men is astounding. Those white men are there, but they there in a lot less numbers than yo so-called man is. This motherfucker right here, his name is Marcus Price, right? He's from Missouri as well. Okay. During the investigation, y'all hold on to your seats. Everybody, keep your hands inside the vehicle because we can ready to go down a hill. All right. Hold on tight. During the investigation, the authorities stopped testing after 35 women were positive from this cocksucking motherfucker here. Did you hear what I said to you? Look at Marcus, ladies. Look at Marcus. Marcus not only was able to get multiple black women, he was able to get more than 30 to give it to him without a condom. Imagine all the women he could have got had he offered protected sex. 35. 35. They stopped because the DA said they had enough to go ahead and prosecute. Anybody else that came up, they tested them because, it's required and ethically you should test them. They feel like they're a victim, test them. But they went on ahead and went to trial and stopped testing after 35 of you mammy ass bitches turned up positive. Marcus is looking at a life sentence. How did Marcus? Marcus has the aesthetic that the black community says when it's on you, you're ugly. Marcus has the phenotype that if it's on you, you just a hood rat. Marcus, if he was a woman, he would be deemed trash in your community, and you're the ones running to him with your panties in your hand, saying, "Make my life miserable. Please hurry the fuck up. I don't do pink pink. I'm just here for you. I'm ride or die. I love you. You're the original. Blah blah fucking blah." Okay, just do your thing. Okay, and I'm gonna be here to laugh at it. I am appalled that this motherfucker here was able to get 35. Do you know how many 35 people is in some classrooms? That's called overcrowded, huh?
And it's sad because with stories like this, a lot of the times they do, especially when the number is so high like that, it's because they're angry because somebody gave it to them and they're trying to give it to as many people as possible. So that's all about what it is. It's about revenge and it's about being petty because you got it. So now you want to ruin as many people's lives as possible. And that's what that shit is really about. It's not about, oh, let me, take better care of myself so I can be undetectable so I don't spread it. No, they have the intention of spreading it because they have weaponized it. And it is
They
illegal
weaponize
to,
sex, Aaliyah.
yeah,
They weaponize everything. It's on par with the crabs in the barrel mentality of the community. They don't want nobody doing better than them in any way. So if this motherfucker thinks somebody's health is better, then yeah, he's gonna weaponize his disgusting ass package. And they do that across the board with everything.
Mm,
yeah,
I can't, y'all.
unfortunately.
I can't.
How many
This is
more of these do you have? Because it's gonna be Christmas in a minute. I mean,
listen. I got a whole goddamn drive of
How
slides.
low can
Okay,
you go, DZ?
this is because the thing is that it's several bitches on this motherfucking on Al Gore's internet trying to lead black women down a goddamn place that look, there is no comparison. There's no comparison as far as traumatization of black women when it comes to black men. You can try as you might. I love and honor your determination to try to make it seem like white men are just as bad to black women as black men are. It's determination. I love that determination. I love determined people. But what you're doing is you're making yourself look stupid, right? Go over your story and then keep it moving. Because if you try to make it seem like these two motherfuckers are equal, you're going to end up tearing up your credibility, ma'am. That's what you're going to end up doing. And you're going to look like you have an agenda. Ma'ams, I'll say ma'ams. Let me move from because I finally wore out the folks. I finally wore out the folks. So let me go ahead and click stop share screen because that's what I was trying to do. Whoa, y'all asses out. Those stories don't stop. They don't stop, y'all. So people need to be held to task for the bullshit that they sit up here and put in front of your fucking face. Real fucking talk. Hold on a second. I got to put this back up here because the back room is getting very, very crowded and I don't want to expose y'all to any of those shit logs we've been up here roasting all night. So let me put some shit up here on the screen, then go back and put my banner up while that's coming up too because I don't want y'all to see no shit log. It's people out here that's trying to show y'all shit log. I'm just keep it real with you. Charlie, are you dusty?
No, ma'am, I'm not. How are y'all doing? Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. Can you hear me?
I
hi.
can.
Um, I just came up for a quick second. I want to thank you because every time I think that I can't be shocked, y'all shock me. Every time I think I'm all the way past it, so I know that I need to be around more. But
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna tell you stick around. And don't be surprised by the black community. Their history is completely fucked. Everybody pretending like it's not. This
I
show just exists for a little bit of counter narrative from all these black love bitches that be trying it out here.
Exactly. So I appreciate because you don't hear about this. I think one of those people I had seen elsewhere, and I have not heard of any of the others.
Mm.
I also want to thank the Black women in the chat for suggesting to get tested even if you're celibate. I mean, I don't know why that never occurred to me, but it's like there are so many that were saying they're getting tested every 3 months, regardless, or even if they're married. That's genius. I never even thought of it. And then the last thing I wanted to say is that no big O is worth all of this. And these broads don't even aren't even having a big O anyway. So it's like, Can y'all please just stop?
They'll
No,
never
Um,
stop.
Give yourself a oh shit. I'm
yeah, and
done.
see what it
Go
is.
buy some stuff.
And see
I can't.
what
yeah,
it
you
is.
can buy
They're
it.
so desperate. It comes down to desperation. They know that if they raise the fact of the idea of getting tested or using condoms or anything, is gonna likely to piss that nigga off, and he's not gonna want to do it. And that is what they don't want to happen. So they would rather put their health at risk and risk fucking this nigga raw instead of sticking to what they know they should be doing, which is making this nigga wrap his shit up. They
Hmm.
will go ahead and say, well, rather than him just saying, rather than him risk saying, well, fuck it, I just don't want to do it at all. Well, I'll just go ahead and go against my better judgment and just let him do it anyway. Because, it's
Hmm.
all about him and keeping him happy. And that's how desperate we are, a lot of us. Whether we want to admit it or not, it is about the dick. It's
Yeah.
all about the dick. It
Well,
ain't about keeping you safe.
what about black women's safety and health and happiness? What about
And
that?
Exactly.
can I ask one? I wanted to ask because I know a lot of y'all are medical professionals, and last time I heard, PrEP and all those other things hadn't actually been tested on women. Is that still true or no?
Well, it
Y'all know.
depends. Right now, only thing we have is Truvada. You have
Mhm.
Truvada, you have Descovy, and you have cabotegravir. That's the injectable, also called Apretude. Right now we have Truvada, and we have it's some. I need to get a little bit more information about cabotegravir, but I know that's the injectable prep. Um,
But a
Descovy
lot of
is
them
not.
don't have women in their clinical trials.
Descovy is not for women. I know it's
Yeah.
not because I've been getting mixed answers as to why women can't take Descovy. One of the answers I got was that women it's not enough concentration, a high enough concentration in the medicine to permeate the vaginal walls to be able to make a difference, to be able to give the woman the protection that she needs. Versus, the anal cavity is a little bit different, it's lined a little bit different. Um, so that's the reason why men and trans women can only take Descovy, biological women cannot. So right now, all we have is Truvada, basically.
Well, thank you so much, and again, thank you, DZ, for all that you're doing, and everyone on the panel in the chat. I'm grateful for y'all, and
Thank you for coming up.
yes, y'all take care of yourselves.
You too.
Thank you.
That point with that Travada, that also brings up a different point, being that we are all having this argument about who's a woman. Okay, put two and two together. Those women can keep taking it. You can't because you're different. Take a look at this real quick, y'all. Please.
Also tonight, Minneapolis police say a very dangerous criminal is behind bars. Court papers say earlier this week the 40-year-old shot his ex-girlfriend a dozen times, and that was one of several shootings. Fox 9's Babs Santos joins us now with more on this. Babs?
Well, Karen, incredibly, this
Ugh,
woman survived being
goodness.
shot 12 times. And it's important to note, at the time of the shooting, she already had a no contact order against the defendant because of a previous allegation of strangulation back in August. Now, this October, 40-year-old.
I always stop on the mugshot. I hope y'all can dig that. Um, y'all got to stop this shit. His girlfriend died like a gangster in the street. 12 bullets between what we just got finished talking about, being murdered while there's a contact order in place. Don't you think it's best to just not engage? Not even start a relationship with these people? There's no way to work it out. It often ends in tragedy. You're worth more than that. What are these people going to tell you on how to prevent this? The only viable option is to not engage. Relationship wise, we already talked about what day to day bullshit and work and all of that good shit. In your personal life, you don't have to engage. Both of these subjects are stemming from your personal life. This is a relationship. And the other 55 motherfuckers we just talked about had sex with these other women and a couple of minors, by the way. So that's the only viable option. Let's go.
He looks like a
Tyrone
spider in an
Wilson
orange jumpsuit.
I don't know what his neck to head ratio, and he got a George Jefferson at the top, and bitch is still fucking.
of Maple Grove faces new felony charges of attempted murder after allegedly breaking into his ex-girlfriend's Minneapolis home on Monday, shooting her 12 times in front of their 1-year-old daughter. When police arrived at the home on Oliver Avenue North just past 10 a.m., they found the little girl on the bedroom floor next to her mother, who had been shot a dozen times. The woman told police Wilson kept shooting her until he was out of bullets, saying he was going to kill her because she disrespected him. She was rushed to the hospital.
Y'all, I can't. I can't. Y'all still doing this? You getting 12 bullets because you disrespecting him? What about the baby? What about baby girl? Did baby girl disrespect him because you left the baby with her bloody dead mother?
The hospital for surgery. By Thursday, police say that woman was in stable condition. On Friday, the React team from MPD's Operation Endeavor spotted Wilson in Minneapolis. He took off on foot, but a short time later, her alleged attacker was in custody. Charging documents say he poses a serious risk to public safety because law enforcement believes he's been involved in multiple shootings in the Twin Cities. Most recently, a week before he shot his ex-girlfriend, police say Wilson shot her current boyfriend several times in the legs. That man drove himself to the hospital and is also expected to survive.
Now let me ask you this. Oh, he got to go. Let me go forward 5 seconds because I'm not getting ready to stare at him. Oh shit, he's still there. Persistent little motherfucker, huh? Shit, let me just put this because I'm not gonna stare at that motherfucker here. Fuck that shit. Let me ask y'all this, and it has to do with the sympathy part. Ladies, how much sympathy do you owe the victim here? Just asking. How much sympathy do you owe her?
Absolutely none. I'm so tired of this. It reminds me of that other story where that woman was threatening her baby daddy with revealing all the bodies he had under him, and he ended up killing, well, K-wording her and her mother. It's just like, look at the way he looks. Look at the way
Y'all,
he
as
looks.
far as black men go, they're ugly. I get that. I'm trying to figure out what is going on in your head where you settle on that. Given all the facts that's out here, how do
I
you
think
settle
they
on
think
that?
it's worth it. I think that they're so obsessed and insane with the concept of black love. I think dying for it is worth it. It's probably a badge of honor. If she could do it again, she'd probably say that was the love of my life. He shot me with the Holy Spirit. I mean, like,
Did you hear
it
what she
has
just
to
said? How
be.
the hell do you shoot somebody with the Holy Spirit? I can't.
The
Yeah,
Holy Spirit, I'm dead. I
I,
can't.
I mean,
It
shit.
has to be, because like, what else? Because these men, they always have a rap sheet where they're abusing, beating other women, abandoning other kids. So they see how they're treating other black women, so they don't care, or they don't think it's gonna happen to them, or they think it's worth it. They think
Some
it's
women
all
just
worth it.
can't be alone. She hadn't even finished her court dates with that ugly motherfucker, and she already had another one. Now, if you're a betting woman and you have your life savings on the line, what do you think her second man that got shot in the legs looked like? Now, remember, your savings is on the line. If you had to bet it that she left or stayed, what do you think the new one looks like? They never learn only because people keep telling them bullshit like what you hear on these mammified fucking channels.
I
Dead
don't
ass
even
serious.
think it has to do with what people are telling them, because they can see what's going on. Like, what has to
Open
be
mind. In
wrong
order
is
to get programmed, somebody has to be telling you something. Now, you just said that they were programmed. Okay. So somebody told them something. Okay. They believed it. They said that it was, like you said, worth it. And they keep going with it. Okay.
Yeah, it's just, it's hard to have sympathy at this point, because it doesn't seem like anything, even getting shot, it just seems like there's nothing that the men can do that make them afraid, turn them off, make them quit, or even just
Well,
the men.
that's what makes them a mammy. That's what mammies do. And then you have fence sitters that one day whenever they turn on their mic, you don't know what the fuck they gonna say. Either they gonna be telling you to stay away from niggas, or they gonna be telling you about police brutality where some nigga got his ass whooped. You never know what they gonna say to you from day to day. And it's like I don't. Let's see what she's gonna say next. You know.
DZ, do you think we would have time to address the other grape that did what he did at Walmart? Because that's where my sympathy is right now for people who just went to work
Yeah,
and
I'm
got
thinking that
sprayed.
way too. Yeah, that's
Like, and
that right.
nowhere is safe. Nowhere is
That
safe
right
from
there is
them.
a long story. He made sure he took out one of the sisters, right? But did y'all see that CNN part where old girl, the so-called preference or whatever, he put the gun to her forehead and he told her go home, didn't shoot. That's
Yep.
a whole nother breakdown that they are not ready to hear. That's part of their hatred for you. He didn't mind pulling that trigger on her. And
Well,
don't
the
tell me about that old ass white woman because she wasn't a potential. I'll just put it like that.
the community has been coddling that person all day on social media,
What
talking about
person?
he was bullied. The shooter, they were like, because he left a manifesto.
Are
He
you
said, yes,
lying to
yes, he left
me?
a manifesto. He said his associates was talking about him behind his back. Therefore, the community says, okay, well, y'all shouldn't be talking about people. People need to just show up and do their job. Why y'all bullying people? So they literally coddling this person, this demon that did what he did and then offed himself like a coward. He should have just did that and left everybody else alone. But yeah, that's just crazy to me. Like, imagine just going to work. You clock in, you going about your business, you're being productive, you're not at a club, you're not anywhere where you think, you shouldn't be, and then some motherfucker that's supposed to be the manager come around the corner shooting. Like, come on, that's some demonic ass behavior. And the community need to be ashamed of themselves. Every time one of them turn out to be the shooter, they pulling out every fucking excuse out of their ass to justify what he did.
Here's the thing. Notice the black community ain't talking about mass shootings no more. You notice that? Because look at the last few mass shootings and who did them. Oh my goodness. Now the topic is not mass shootings, it's bullying. You can't make this shit up. Y'all, they are fake as fuck. And anything that they can do to take up for that nigga, they're going to. The last few mass shootings that I've seen have come from niggas. I'm just gonna put that out there. Huh?
And we're so, twisted as a group of people. I'm gonna tell you what I find disgusting, especially about this new bullying narrative, how people are so freely using a young girl's death to take jabs at us. I
Mm,
find that fucking disgusting. Can we talk about that? Just briefly, just briefly. I
absolutely.
find it, I see that people are using that Dejanay situation and Shanquilla's death. And see, this is how twisted a lot of people are, that you would sit up and compare something like that with a young girl being beaten to death and compare that to your inability to be able to compete on YouTube. These are some
Yeah.
twisted bitches,
Yes.
man.
Let
These
me
are some
yeah,
twisted
let me jump in here
bitches.
too. I want to second that. I find that extremely disgusting and disrespectful to the victim who suffered from a brutal attack where her life was taken and she was internally decapitated. For anybody to come on this platform and compare that to some petty, gossip or bickering, that is awful. That is disgusting. And how dare you sit up here and pretend to care about what happened to her if you're going to take something like that and try to equate it to some bickering. Shame on you.
Mm, mm-mm.
But see,
Y'all.
this is what we do. You have people, even in death, you have people standing on your skull trying to find a way to use that to their advantage. And it's sick. It is very sick to even compare yourself or anything that has transpired on this platform to something like that. That's sad and it's sick. It really is.
Ladies, I try to stay and I agree 150%. To push a narrative, that's literally what they're doing, pushing narratives. And at the end of the day, you don't give a shit about black women and what they went through and what they're going through. and what they're going to go through. Let's just keep it real. When you do shit like that, they're getting younger and younger every fucking day. These niggas that we're telling y'all about, the ones that Sean Cornella was hanging with, the lady that just got shot 12 times, right? All these victims with the spread of the package, all these victims with the domestic violence. Y'all, these two women, 21-year-old and 20-year-old, Jasmine and Jay Alexis, okay? If you saw pictures of Jasmine, the lady on the left, she's very, 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 very fair skinned. Looking at the majority of her pictures, I think she may even be biracial. You look at the woman on the right, she's brown skinned. And everything in between are all in danger with these niggas. That's why I can't with this colorism shit. And I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. If you are a black woman of any hue, of any hue, you might need to stay your ass away from these niggas. You even had black women telling people I was evil because I said, I don't want your sons hugging me. I don't care if they're minors. I don't let kids touch on me. I move, far away from them so I don't have to be rude, right? So we can keep shit cordial and I just keep some space between me and them whenever the situation is presents itself that I'm in the same room with these people's children. That doesn't make me evil. It makes me vigilant. It's my choice, honestly. Okay, some people claim that they're for women and their choices. Well, my choice is not to be dealing with people's sons, period. I don't care how old they are. These women right here, they're no longer with us because of someone's minor son. They went to a house in Alabama, Dothan to be exact, and they found these two women with riddled with bullet holes. Conducting an investigation, right? They concluded that they didn't shoot each other. It was a third party. Well, let me show you the third party. Is this little son of a bitch here. Now, I was unable to find many pictures of him that didn't have a gun. This boy is 14 years old and they're charging him as an adult. Listen, 14. I remember being 14 in my mindset. I really did. And I don't understand how y'all are laying back, having contractions, and pushing these motherfuckers out of your body. You are birthing the terrorists in the black community. And I'm starting to take issue with you more than anything else because consider the source. After you clean up the flood in your living room, if your living room was flooded out, you have to find out where that water came from so it doesn't flood your living room again. When I find the source, you're there. He didn't birth his damn self. You got to stop with these motherfuckers because guess what? Every generation is getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know what it's gonna look like out here when I'm 70 years old, but if time and history has shown itself, it will be damn near unlivable. You won't be able to be around these motherfuckers. Do you hear me? 14 years old and did a double homicide in one day. Now, let me tell you something else. He had already been in trouble with the law, and there was a pickup warrant for him because he fired bullets into a vehicle that was occupied. Now, you ladies that's always talking about, oh, they're young and blah, blah, blah. I don't know anybody personally that has shot into a vehicle, had warrants, basically, pickup order warrants, the same thing, and then turned around and did a homicide all before their 18th birthday. These are y'all sons, man. They're your sons. So, whenever you birth one, I take it as an act of aggression towards me because that's who they're victimizing. People that look like me after they can walk and talk. I don't find the shit cute. I don't give a fuck about 18. If you're dangerous to me, I'm not going to allow you to have access to me, point blank, period. And nobody deserves this shit. I don't know their personal lives, these women, but I know that they didn't deserve that shit and it didn't matter what hue, what color, how light or how dark their skin was. They're both gone. They're gone. But one thing they do have in common, number one, they're black women, and number two, your funky ass, violent ass son. Anybody can take this goddamn microphone. You can have it.
I wanted to say when you brought up the mass shooting, how they're silent on it. There's been mass shootings. They just don't consider shootings in the hood where innocent people are getting sprayed down for no reason a mass shooting. They ignore that stuff when people step on somebody's shoes in the club and get sprayed down. You can't, they've been mass shooting. So I don't know where they have this cognitive dissonance where there were no black mass shooters. It's just other black people are always the victims of it. And I don't know if you saw this TikTok video where it was this black guy who made a video was like, "Why are you always partying with white people?" And then it had that song, "I'm Still Alive, I'm Still Alive" by Dancing with the Sea of White People. And then all the black people in the comments were trying to rag on him, but then they also said, "Well, yeah, that's why I don't go out anymore because you can't because they're going to shoot up the place."
No, it's true. I mean, I just I don't deal with black folk in that fashion. I don't. I'm scared of black people because whenever somebody doesn't have impulse control and don't respect human life, that killing somebody, that's irreversible. You can't come back the next day and say you're sorry. Once the life is gone, it's gone. And for some odd reason, black folk don't mind, especially black men. They don't mind doing the irreversible over petty shit. You saw that woman just get 12 bullets because he felt disrespected. I can't be around nobody that does that type of shit, that wants to burn the whole fucking house down whenever something petty happens. Just blow it all up. You can't undo that. Cuss somebody out, for God's sakes. They just have to deal with it. But taking them off this planet, taking the mothers of your kids off this planet, you just look, I don't know. I don't even know why I'm saying that shit because you don't like your kids. So that's not going to resonate with your ass either. But listen, what you going to do is stay your ass away from me. You have to. You have no choice. I'm going to call the police. Or if you're too close, we're going to go ahead and defend ourselves, if you know what I mean. Separate you from your do-rag and your soul, bitch. Okay?
Why does his looks not surprise me?
Hmm.
Even at 14 years old, pants tagging dreadhead terrorist. That they're getting younger and younger. 14 years old, and I seen those pictures, and I said this kid had access to some serious firepower at his age. I
Mm-hmm.
would have loved to see what his parents looked like. Cause
Girl.
I'm like, come on now, Dizzy, I know you saw the weapons that this boy
Yes.
had. At
He's so
14,
young. He's so young that his little hands couldn't wrap around some of them guns he had.
I'm like, why? I said, damn, he see that shit right there is crazy. But
And
that's why people. Mhm.
sorry, Aaliyah. I was just gonna say his mammy ass mama, she right down there riding for her thun. He didn't do nothing, even though two people are unalived. She gonna mammy for him.
Oh, of course, they never do anything. Never.
By the way, y'all, his name is Lamar Vincent or some shit like that. He's a junior, by the way, a junior. Somebody with junior at the back of their name doesn't mean that their father was there. That just mean the mama was in love at the time. Pull up. Tell me I'm lying. Okay, a lot of these juniors ain't ever even met the goddamn daddy before. Bella, are you dusty? Bella, you dusty? All right,
Can you hear me okay?
now I can.
Excellent. No, I'm not dusty at all. I'm actually a big fan of you, DZ.
That's what's up.
I kind of just wanted to go back to the three-letter thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is a topic very close to my heart because a friend of mine years ago was SA'd and
Mm.
dude dropped the package on her. And even though medication has gotten better since the cocktail days in the 80s and 90s, nothing could kick her depression, and I lost her to suicide.
To the S word.
So,
You can't say shit up here.
oh, I'm so sorry, girl. I'm
You
so
can
sorry.
No, it's all good. You can't say nothing up here, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because they're protecting these niggas. That they are. You can barely talk up here. This is why I go behind a wall
But
to
yeah,
actually speak. Because everything you say up here is foul.
I'm very sorry. I don't mean to do anything to put you on the
but
block
yeah,
or
I mean,
anything, but I'm just in a
you
mood
see
right
that a
now.
lot. You
But
you
um
do.
but
Mhm.
this is what I wanted to share with you about this. We see these mugshots of these degenerates and automatically we're thinking, sewer dwelling, project dwelling, scum of the earth, still living in their grandmama's basement, whatever the case might be. I want to talk about the unicorns who like to pass it on down. And that's something that people don't really talk about because they go so far as to having their boys take their tests for them. Remember back in the day when a, uh, three-letter testing, right,
Mm-hmm.
was anonymous and they gave you a number. And during this time, I remember there was a circle of guys in this class of black folk, raised by the Huxtables. Everybody went to Hillman, somehow went to Columbia for grad school, all had great jobs, right? So you're thinking the women in this circle, they're all thinking, you know what? Hey, these dudes, they're great. They're top class. They're the pick of the litter. The unicorns we keep hearing about. But even still, whatever underground activities they decided to partake in, or whatever SA might have happened to them, what they wanted to do was punish anyone that they could make a victim and make them feel like a victim. So there was a crew of these dudes. I remember it clearly. And all grads, some of them Greek, as a matter of fact. And they went on and they had these relationships with sisters, would get tested because that was an era when, we were still singing Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, and the message was still wear a condom, practice safe sex. Remember those days?
Mm-hmm.
But then for some reason, I don't know if it was Love Jones or Love and Basketball or whatever the fuck it was, we got a little bit comfortable with these dudes, I guess, and thinking we see now what this high profile unicorn type dude is. But they were charming dudes, broke down the guard of a couple of women and spread it just like that, and did it in messed up ways, forging tests, not necessarily actually getting tested, but recreating test results.
Wow.
So even saying, you know what, go out and get tested, you got to do that. That doesn't even matter with them. It doesn't matter like
Yep.
what class they're in. It doesn't matter what how they go about, getting it, whether it's through forgery or lying or guilt tripping sisters or SA or whatever the case might be. The degeneracy is so real with them, and the hatred is
Oh,
so
absolutely.
real that they want to make sure that they issue victimhood on anybody they possibly can, each other and especially us.
Mm-hmm.
And
And even though we
that's
see
why
it
I'm
with the
sorry.
with the I don't even know if I could say a GUN on this. Like, can I say that word? I don't even know. But
Shit.
like, even with the violence, literal pum violence, it's the same pathology, and it is a sickness. And their mammies are the problems
See,
because they're
that's why I
raising
say that.
psychopaths.
Let me tell you something, Bella. The only answer is divesting from that community. That's the only answer. And that makes people uncomfortable. And that's why the black community worked so hard and diligently to make divestment look like a bunch of crazy ass bitter bitches. That's why they did that, because it's the only answer. They didn't even come at swirlers that hard, because
Hmm.
in swirling you would still deal with a nigga at some point if you wanted to. But with divestment, you done with that community. You've turned your life around and you're living a completely different way. So it was time to demonize us. But to be honest with you, that's
Mm.
the only way to avoid niggas and they nonsense, they mammies, they cousins, and all that shit, is to not deal at all. Have a zero tolerance for this bullshit. And that's why they tried to make us look bad.
Not even just that, but just straight up enable it, create art forms around it, supporting it, to
Mm-hmm.
normalize it. Like, there's no end to not correcting these people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it's going to take for more black women to kind of realize, you know what, this is not where it's at. Obviously, it's not bodies dropping
I
from
mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
everything. Apparently, that's not working. So I don't even know what to say.
I mean,
Um,
I get it.
but
It's
thank you
to
for
the
letting me
point.
speak.
No, go
Absolutely.
ahead.
No, I'm
No,
listening. Yeah, I'm
no, I
sorry.
get it. It's to the point where you can't even trust them to bring you the results and that actually be the real test results. I mean, that's why I think the best option is just to go together. That way you can go ahead and get the results together. And
Hmm.
it's couples that test together all the time. So I
Right.
definitely know it can be done. I've I've done testing at Swift Trucking Company.
Mm.
Though a lot of those truckers who ride with their wives, if they
That
want to
advice
start,
there is for women that still gonna deal with niggas. Yeah,
yeah.
if you
Oh,
still dealing with niggas, take your ass with it. I'm telling you, don't deal with them. I want
of
you to make no
course,
mistake
of
about
course.
it.
But no, I'm just saying I see what she's saying about them falsifying the results too, even if you do go. But I mean, I'm sorry for what happened to your friend, but we do see that a lot, unfortunately, because a lot of that goes along with the territory, depression, anxiety, other
Hmm.
mental issues, because a lot of people just can't deal with it, unfortunately. Regardless to, we can tell them all we want, it's not the death sentence it used to be, but unfortunately, when some people get that diagnosis, to them, that's exactly what it is. It's a death sentence, and they don't know how to deal from that point forward. So,
I just want to close out before I roll out. One great show, by the way. But they'll anything that they can use as a weapon, they will use it. Literally
Absolutely,
anything.
absolutely.
And I
I
just
honestly,
hope that black women stay safe and stay prayed up if you into that kind of thing. I don't know, but please stay safe out here. All right.
Well, that's
Good
why
night,
DZ
ladies.
that's why
good night.
DZ's channel is the truth, in my opinion, because this channel is not making allowances for unicorns. We understand that it's hashtag all. It doesn't, you have the ones with the tattoos on their face and those disgusting, nasty looking things on their sticking out of their heads. And then you have the ones that look clean cut. Clean cut, it's hashtag all. Because half the time, the unicorns have more resources to fuck you over, just like what they're talking about, being crafty and creating tests and whatnot. That's why your best bet is to avoid them as much as possible. Period.
Hmm. I mean that shit. And everybody's trying to come up with these fucking ways to make some shit that's not supposed to work. Those motherfuckers weren't built for having families, protecting women, providing for women. They weren't built to have compassion and that type of stuff. And why you're trying to force this relationship and force, you two being together is just weird to me. The caller that was just up here, she said that she hopes black women stay safe. Only a select few black women will do so. Okay, because the fact of the matter is the majority of black women will always prefer black men. And here's the deal: the only way to even put a real dent in it, and this will never happen, I'm just putting that out there, they would have to remove all resources from these women. They would have to say, if you are going to continue to fuck around with clowns and dangerous bastards like that, you need to make your own way. They need to go ahead and build you a hospital. They need to go to medical school so they can vaccinate your children and blah, 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 blah. Y'all need to be self sustaining, because what y'all doing is overcrowding our funeral homes, overcrowding our emergency rooms, overcrowding our schools with unwanted bastards, over applying for stuff that he hasn't provided for you. You're just in a whole goddamn mess. And on top of that, you coming over here trying to tell us how to do us. Huh? You telling us how we should act in our system. Well, ma'am, mammy, if you don't like that system, you need to tell your Tyrone, the one that you keep letting give you the package, make you a system. Make you, where is Blacktown at? Because I know where Chinatown is. I know exactly where it is. Where's Blacktown? And I'm not talking about the hood where in the stores are owned by other motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where you can go barter, buy, sell, and everything else with people that look like you. It doesn't exist. And it's never going to exist. The system that you're dealing with right now, it's the type of system where they make stuff, you beg for it, then argue at them for not giving it to you fast enough. You think that's sustainable? You think anybody taking you serious right now with that being your system? You telling them how to portray you in this film and that film, when your niggas don't portray you right in those films. Your favorite goddamn sitcom used to call your black ass Beady Bead, and you laughed your ass off at it. You thought it was the funniest shit in the world. You thought the shit was funny as fuck, and then you coming to tell other motherfuckers to respect your hair texture, respect this and respect that. You haven't made that nigga respect you yet. So when you tell other motherfuckers that, they give you the common decency that's required by federal law, but they know good and goddamn well you full of shit. All I got to do is stop feeding your kids. All I got to do is quit taking your kids into my public school for 8 hours a day because you need that child care. And you fussing and whining and having breakdowns like toddlers. The shit is hilarious. I swear. Let me put my banner back up because I don't want nobody to feel neglected. You know, DZ didn't let me up there. We was Kings. Are you Dusty?
Hey, no, I'm not.
What's up?
No.
How you
Okay,
doing?
so hello, I'm fine. So I'm from the DMV area to be exact, DC. I'm a in my early 20s and I'm a medical assistant, right? But on the
Mm-hmm.
side, I'm about to start something new, like the home aid stuff where they care for, some people with disabilities and things like that. So
Right.
speaking of one of the topics that you had spoke about, the HIV, I'm just kind of scared to come across those because my mom, her friend had kind of, put me on. She's been doing that like more than 20 years. And they done told me some stories about, some people who are dying or like in the hospice or something like that have AIDS and it's just, a lot of scary stories. So I've
We
noticed
was
like
Kings.
as far as, huh?
remember
Yeah, I was just
to
being
remember to use your code words, boo.
sarcastic, that's all. Right. Okay, so I've known like as far as in the dating, sometimes when I date here and there, I only date like mostly like white and Latino stuff, but I'm not interested in black men at all. And sometimes if I do
Okay.
make a profile just because I'm bored, they will still inbox me, although exclusively I have it right on my profile that I'm not interested into them at all.
Let me ask
At
you a
all.
question. We was Kings. When have you known black men to follow instructions or give a fuck about rules?
Honestly, I don't really pay any attention to them.
Boom.
As a matter
So
of
they gonna be in your inbox. They gonna be in your inbox no
as a
matter
matter
what
of
you
fact,
say.
right. As a matter of fact, black people don't really like to read anyway, especially black men. So I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know
so
what it
you
is.
writing that up there, that wasn't gonna have no effect on what they do next.
I'm
It's
not
all about
surprised.
pussy and fighting with them.
Oh, as a matter of fact, some of them would even bother to keep coming back, every other day because I guess they can still see when you used to be online and they'll still unbox you and stuff like that. So I still don't
Okay,
respond. Oh, and just
good
like
for
last
you.
week, I was in the store getting me some snacks. One was just right
You
behind my tail,
everywhere
following
with
me
it.
like a
Hold on
lost
one
puppy.
second for me. Hold on for me 1 second, we was Kings, because you
All
are
right.
going from left to right to center. Wicked and Wise, your camera's on, and I see you looking into it with your red glasses and stuff. So put yourself off the camera, right? And then I'm gonna let you up and ask you, are you Dusty? Are you Dusty, Wicked and Wise?
No, no. Crusty, but not dusty.
That's amazing. Your TV is on in the back. Can you mute it real quick?
Let me go into another room because somebody's watching the TV.
Okay. What you got on the
Okay.
topic, lady? Mhm.
Nothing. I'm so sorry. I just tuned in and I just want to say really, really quick and I'm going to get off.
Mhm.
I absolutely love you. I'm an old lady and I've been divested my whole life and I never had the language until I like tuned into you
Mhm.
to know what I was doing with my life. I just used to say, "Hey, I don't live in black spaces and I don't deal with this and I don't deal with that." And about 6 months ago, I came across you and I'm such a fangirl or fan old lady.
Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. A lot of people can't stomach me, and I appreciate everybody in my comment section. They are some of the most brave motherfuckers on the planet because everybody on this goddamn interwebs, including people from the BWE, can't stand my guts. And it's because I'm saying none of them are allowed. Black men aren't allowed. Not your son, not your nephew. None of the motherfuckers are allowed. And they can't swallow that pill. It gets stuck in their esophagus and they not able to breathe anymore. So they have mixed opinions depending on the day I'm talking to them. So I appreciate you being here. It is what it is. It takes a
Oh, I
brave
just
person to be here.
I cannot tell you how much I admire everything you say because this is how I have lived my entire life.
Awesome.
And I've never run into anybody else who is a divester. I never heard the word divester before 6 months ago. And so, kudos, love your show. And I'm just going to fall back now.
Okay, thank you for coming up and sharing that. Y'all, I hope that you didn't forsake your goddamn standards yesterday. de-escalate if anything went down, and learn better from that. For Christmas, we got 6 weeks coming up, and hopefully you don't compromise your goddamn self again. Okay? Because we done told you. They ain't changed a bit. Side-eyeing and all that shit. And for God's sakes, please keep your legs close to these sorry motherfuckers. You seen how many stories we covered tonight? Didn't have time for all of them, but they're endless. If you want to entertain yourself, to keep yourself grounded and divested, go ahead and look at some of them goddamn stories. Stay away from stupid ass women, mammies in particular, right? Because they're going to have your ass in a situation where you can't get out of it. Okay? It is what it is. I love y'all to pieces. Every time y'all come here, you let me know that I'm doing the right thing. People are being saved. I don't care if it's just one or two a month, one or two a year. Each and every one of y'all are worth it to me to, make sure motherfuckers is doing the right thing and y'all saving y'all life. Okay? So I am out of here. But before I go, let's go here. Stay away from these women.
Find me a good black man, I'd be damned if I let him go anywhere. I always said I'd never fight over a man, but you let me have a good black man and the bitch can't say shit to me because she will get her ass kicked.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. Save yourself. Please and thank you. I am out of here. Talk to you Tuesday. Bye.
Night.